wish I was in history. I don't know why people.
What are you doing?
I was doing like an old person thinking.
I thought you were like a steamboat coming through. I was like, what does that have to do with this list? What's up, everybody? My name is Nick.
I'm Mississippi Mike.
Apparently, Mike.
I am a steamboat. Apparently to Nick, I am a steamboat.
That whole intro had nothing to do with what we're talking about today. And this was, you were doing an old guy. Now I get it.
I was getting to it. It's about who in history would you want to play a board game with? I was thinking about an old person
Reminiscing.
in the past, reminisce. It doesn't matter.
I get it. Yes, this is me. Top 10 people we want to play a board game with and a game we'd like to play with them. Yeah. Down in the comments, let us know who would you want to play a game with. I guess they could also still be alive if you wanted to.
Sure, go for it.
You know, but nonetheless, I just think it's such a cool concept. Like, oh, I want to play this with this person. It'd be really, really cool. This is going to be our top 10. Let's get into it. Our number 10 is I want to play Kitchen Rush with Julia Child. If you know Julia Child is a TV chef, a TV personality chef, a wonderful woman who taught so many people how to cook and taught the joy of cooking to so many people. And just, Julia Child's just a great character. And the reason I choose Julia Child over other famous chefs like Gordon Ramsay, someone else, is I just feel like she'd be more fun to play with. You know, I feel like a lot of other people would probably be like kind of curmudgeon-y, you know? And so like, I feel like Julia Child would just have a great time playing board games. And Kitchen Rush is a game where you are playing, you are simulating a kitchen and you're at the rush hour. And so you are having to cook certain meals for certain people, but you have to cook them a certain amount. They need obviously very specific ingredients, certain spices. And you are trying to do all this while on timers. Every character in the game is a sand timer, and you place them so the sand is moving, and then you cannot move that sand timer until the sand timer is out. And you're trying to get all this stuff done and score points before the overall timer runs out. It's just really, really fun. I just think Julia Child would be really fun to play board games with, especially a crazy game of Kitchen Rush. I think she'd be a hoot to play with. I want to play Kitchen Rush with Julia Child.
Number 9 is George Washington Carver, an agricultural scientist who I'll remember as like the fun fact from school. It's like they made peanut butter. But they were this agricultural scientist who helped learn and develop techniques to avoid kind of soil depletion and help make, you know, our earth richer and stuff so that our agricultural techniques didn't, you know, ravage the land as much. And were more kind of sustainable and really helped kind of progress agriculture in our country. And I think it would be so perfect to play a game like Earth, where it's all about creating a healthy ecosystem and plants and how these things work. And you use soil as your currency in the game. So something like that I think would be super cool for like someone who's like really into agricultural science, and the kind of science of plants and how they work and how they live kind of healthy lives and stuff. I'm super down to play that game.
Number 8, I want to play Lacrimosa with Mozart. Again, we're assuming, I feel like Mozart would be like, wow, this game's about me being dead. That's weird. But I guess a music game with Mozart, if we don't want to make it too weird like that. I just think it'd be cool. I love Lacrimosa. Lacrimosa is a great game where you are kind of posthumously talking about Mozart's life, and you're basically trying to show that you are Mozart's best friend. And so it would just be cool to play a game like that with the person that it's about. You can kind of choose this for a lot of different games, but we thought Lacrimosa is a really, really fun game with a great look to it, and I don't know, it'd be cool to play a game like that with Mozart. Again, maybe not quite this one, because he might be like, wow, this game's just about me being dead. That's a weird choice, Nick. And I'm like, yeah, that's fair. That's fair, Wolfgang.
Number 7 is going to be simple. Susan B. Anthony, and we're playing Votes for Women. I'm playing co-op style with one of the most famous suffragettes in our country who helped usher in one of the most important pieces of legislation we've ever done. One of the best moments we ever had as a country is giving women the right to vote, which they should have had the whole time, obviously. It would be so cool to play this game. This game is historical, that has famous figures, famous events and stuff, and to go through and almost like as an interview ask, like, what was it like? Like, give me the energy of that room in that moment when this event took place, and we can play cooperatively against the Oppo bot. It'd be so perfect. I'd have the ultimate sidekick I should say, as if I'm not the sidekick in that game. I 100% am the ultimate kind of quarterback, I should say, to like lead me through that game to ultimate victory. I think it would be so cool. I think it'd be so fascinating. What a fascinating part of our history. I'm all in on that. Susan B. Anthony.
Number 6 would be to play something like Western Legends with Annie Oakley. That'd be so cool. Such a Western legend. Good job, Nick. Playing a game like that with Annie Oakley, or really kind of any kind of old West kind of person would be cool. But Annie Oakley is so awesome, and Western Legends is a great game because there's so many different avenues you can go with. You can kind of be a lawman, or you can be like a big old criminal, bandit. Or you can like rob trains. You can go and play poker and stuff. You can do all these different, it's kind of a big sandbox game. And playing with Annie Oakley would be cool because whatever she feels like doing, she can go do. She's like, I'm gonna go play some poker because I'm done with y'all. And they're like, okay, go play some poker, Annie Oakley. That's cool. You wanna go rob a train later? Okay, that's really cool. I don't know, historical games that are kind of about, or with that kind of person would just be cool. And Annie Oakley would be also, because I feel like she would just sit there and tell us stories a lot. And Annie Oakley's stories are probably bonkers. And so I just think it'd be cool to play Western Legends with a Western legend.
Number 5, I'm going Frank Lloyd Wright. We're playing the Castles of Mad King Ludwig. All right, one of our best architects and stuff. I would love, really what I'd want to do, not just play Castles of Mad King Ludwig. We play a game of that, and that gives us a blueprint, and then we go and make that castle for real, as weird as possible, with all the strange grounds and stuff. I just would love to play the famous architect. He played Decorum as well. I think it would be really interesting, but Frank Lloyd Wright has just created so many awesome things, and I'd want to just like do a challenge. What's the craziest building we can build? So I'd go Frank Lloyd Wright, Castle of Mad King Ludwig.
Number 4 is to play Potion Explosion with Marie Curie. How freaking cool would be that, to play something about mixing stuff together with one of the most famous chemists of all time, who I don't think was just like pouring stuff and other stuff, but that's how I assume chemists work, is they just pour crap into beakers and stuff. I just think it'd be cool. I think she'd get a kick out of it because Potion Explosion is a game where you're essentially getting these marbles that are different, I guess, elements or whatever they're supposed to be, and you're making potions of that and then drinking those potions to kind of give you special powers. And I think with someone like that, it would be a nice break from her general world of winning Nobel Prizes and stuff, and the hard chemistry life, and just play a nice relaxing game about mixing different colored marbles into fancy little concoctions, drinking them, and then getting to get more marbles and stuff like that. I just think it'd be really cool to play with Marie Curie, that kind of game. I mean, you can also play like Trismegistus, another game where you're like doing chemistry, changing elements to other stuff, but I want something light. I want something light and easy, like Potion Explosion, and I just think she'd enjoy it.
Number 3, I'm going Einstein. Going Albert Einstein. I don't even know what game specifically I'd want to play. I just think I would want to, people think of certain games as like mathy. Just a bunch of math you're doing in this game. Whatever that game is that you think is the most mathy, kind of inner convoluted connected game, I'm playing that with Einstein. And I just want to see how quickly his brain goes like, figured it out, done, got it, it's easy. I just think it'd be, I could picture Einstein being either great at board games or they're so beneath his mind in a different area to the side that he's just like, can't even begin to understand that. But I think it would be amazing to just try to see, with any of these folks really, I'd love to see with Einstein, I'd love to see the gears turning in their brain. I'd love to see like, what does it look like when they're processing information? I don't know, maybe that's weird and voyeuristic or something. I just think it would be so fascinating. So anything that can kind of like get that mind going for even a second, I'm like, I just want to watch and see what that's like. That'd be so cool. Einstein in any game that you would think of as mathy is my choice.
Number 2 is going to play Ark Nova with Steve Irwin. I cried the day Steve Irwin died. I still think about him a lot. I still watch him a lot. That was, of celebrity deaths, that one That one, to this day, hit me the hardest. What a wonderful, wonderful person. Steve Irwin, if you don't know, is a zoologist of sorts, but he had the, he's a crocodile hunter. It was such a huge part of so many of our childhoods. And I would love to play Ark Nova, a game that's about building a good zoo, like building a good zoo that has nice appeal, but also deals with conservation. I think it's a theme he would enjoy, obviously, because he loves animals. But I think he'd also enjoy the fact that you're building out a zoo, and that you're building out a zoo that cares about conservation, the fact that conservation gives you more points than just people coming to your park. I think it's something he would enjoy. And Steve Irwin's just such a wonderful, cool dude. And it's also one of those dudes who, like, I feel like would be really fun to play a board game with, right? Like Steve Irwin's energy in a board game would be really, really fun. He's just always so enthusiastic and so, like, I don't know, positive. I feel like he'd make any gaming experience great. So really choose any game to play with Steve Irwin, but like I'm gonna choose Ark Nova because I think he'd appreciate the theme and I think he'd be an absolute blast to play with. I love him so much. God, I miss him.
Number 1 is going to be Shakespeare. I'm going back in time. I'm going to go Shakespeare, bring it along in my time machine, go meet Shakespeare. We go on to the Old Globe Theater. I watch a rehearsal, I watch a play, and then we sit down and I say, like, look, here's your most famous characters. Here's your most famous plays and everything. Let's now, I don't know, dream up the next great play by playing this game. I think Shakespeare, as a theater nerd at heart, getting a chance to meet Shakespeare, or whoever the heck they really were, right? If it wasn't the person we think, first of all. Getting to play in this super famous location and play this game based on all their works, I think would be super cool. It kind of reminds me, if you ever saw like the Van Gogh episode of Doctor Who, I feel like it'd be cool to be like, do you know how important your works are? Like all these years later, like, do you know how much we still perform them? Like, you're very relevant now. Would be kind of neat. So Shakespeare, in Shakespearean times, at the Old Globe Theater, there's nothing better. Boom. Those are 10 people I want to play games with. And there's obviously so many more. Yeah. But I think those would be super cool.
Yeah.
Try to play like a curated experience a little bit. See if it blows their mind.
Now the thing is, if we play like Joan of Arc with Joan of Arc, would that like tear reality asunder?
We'd have to be really careful about like.
Would she be freaking out, being like,
"This
is
future events about her life?"
Right.
Yeah. So we have to. You basically follow the laws of Bill and Ted, and everything will work out.
Yeah, we're playing with fire. Yeah.
That's what we're gonna do. So get us a magical phone booth, and then we'll have to explain to the kids what.
Yeah, exactly. Real talk.
And then we'll get into it. But those are 10 games, or rather 10 games that we want to play with, specifically 10 specific people from history. Let us know in the comments below who you'd want to play with and what games and why. Until next time, I'm Mike.
I'm Nick.
We're the Brothers Murph. We'll catch y'all in the next top 10.
Bye, everybody.